Hi, welcome to A Global Kitchen. So what does this block of cheddar cheese have in common with the odd Vietnamese dish? They share an ingredient called annatto. Annatto gives various food products, like cheddar cheese, its orange, reddish color. In the Vietnamese kitchen, it delivers a sweet, nutty, earthy flavor to a variety of soups and stews. Today I'm going to show you how to extract the color and the flavor out of annatto seeds to make an annatto oil. Then I'm going to use that annatto oil to make one of my favorite condiments, a lemongrass chili satay. Annatto seeds are small, teardrop-shaped, rust-colored seeds that are harvested from pods grown on small shrubs in tropical areas. You can buy annatto seeds at Vietnamese grocers. Ask for điều, or head to a Latin American, Caribbean, or Filipino grocer as they're common in those cuisines. Shopkeepers there will know them by another name, achiote. Place the annatto seeds and oil in a small saucepan over low heat. As the oil becomes warmer, it will start to take on a noticeable sweet aroma and turn light red in color. If you see an increase in any tiny bubbles rising to the surface, reduce the heat. Hot oil will burn the seeds and turn them and the oil bitter. After 12 to 15 minutes, you should notice the oil is a deeper orange-red color. At this point, remove it from the heat and set it aside for at least 30 minutes to allow the annatto seeds to infuse more color and flavor into the oil. When the oil is cool, strain it through a fine mesh strainer and transfer it to a glass jar. Notice the difference in color between the neutral flavor oil you started with and the annatto infused oil. Store the oil at room temperature for up to a month, or keep it in the fridge for several months. Use it when you make Bún Bò Huế Chay or Bún Riêu Cua Chay, or drizzle it into the bowl when you make green mango rice paper ribbons. Its sweet nuttiness makes a statement without being overwhelming, and of course it's great in Lemongrass Chile Satay. Lemongrass Chile Satay is one of my favorite pantry condiments. I always try to have some on hand. I like using it in noodle soups like Bún Bò Huế Chay or Bún Riêu Cua Chay. I mix it with mayonnaise when I'm making a banh mi sandwich, or I like to add a little bit into a dipping sauce. Now most recipes ask you to use the bottom 5 or 6 inches of a stalk of lemongrass, but in this one, you'll use the whole stalk. You'll just thinly slice it, add it to a food processor, blitz it, and you'll get a fine mince. Now, if you don't have a food processor and you're going to a Vietnamese grocer, in the freezer section, there's already 2-cup packages of already finely minced lemongrass. That's a suitable substitute in this recipe. And then you can keep the rest in the freezer and you can use it when you need finely minced lemongrass in other recipes. Trim off the root end and top. Peel away 2 or 3 outer layers and any discolored parts from the lemongrass. Instead of throwing the lemongrass scraps away, roughly chop them and simmer them in some water to make a cup of lemongrass tea. Using a sharp knife, thinly slice all of the lemongrass. Set up your food processor. Since it's a small amount, use the smaller bowl insert. A mini food processor or blender also work nicely. Transfer the sliced lemongrass to the food processor and blitz it until it's finely minced. You'll need to stop the food processor or blender a couple of times to push down any lemongrass that has crept up on the edges of the bowl. This helps to make sure you're not left with any large pieces. Remove the tops of the fresh Thai bird chilies and finely chop them. Make sure to wash your hands and cutting board really well to remove them of any of the chili's fiery essential oils. Some people like to use latex gloves when they're handling fresh chilies. Heat the neutral flavored vegetable oil in a medium saucepan over medium-low heat. After a couple of minutes, add the lemongrass and stir it well. Make sure it's evenly spread over the bottom of the saucepan. Every couple of minutes, give it a good stir. You'll notice the lemongrass around the edges of the saucepan tend to color first. After 10 to 12 minutes, the lemongrass should be fragrant and nutty golden brown in color. At this point, add the fresh chilies, the dried chili flakes, the sugar and salt. give it a good stir, then drizzle in the annatto seed oil. If you run out of annatto seed oil or don't have time to make it, simply use a neutral flavored oil. Cook, stirring regularly for 3 to 5 minutes. Turn off the heat and set it aside to cool. While it's still a little warm, spoon it into a glass jar. Press the chili satay down with the back of a spoon to make sure a thin layer of oil floats on the top. Let the lemongrass chili satay cool completely before covering. Store at room temperature or in the fridge for several months. But I really don't expect it to last that long in your kitchen. As a variation, stir in 2 tablespoons each of finely chopped garlic and shallots. Add them in about 5 minutes after you've added in the lemongrass, and also stir in 2 or 3 extra tablespoons of oil. I hope you've liked this basic pantry recipe. Please like it, share it with others, and I'd love it if you'd subscribe to A Global Kitchen. Bye and happy cooking.